The original Exploding Kittens card game has been imploding friendships and scarring families for years on end, and has become a game night staple mark for countless families. So when word got out that they were releasing a board game edition of the explosive game, fans were ecstatic. And yet, even still, some fans like me were asking the question, does a great card game make for a great board game? Because the two mediums aren't exactly identical when it comes to gameplay. I can say with full confidence that, despite a few nitpicks that I'll mention later on in this video, this board game edition of the classic card game more than lives up to the hype. This zany and explosive game is a total blast and will keep you hooked till the very end. What I appreciate about this board game concoction is that, as opposed to the card game version, this version of Exploding Kittens keeps all of the players in the game, as opposed to viciously eliminating players one by one. Although some players like myself might enjoy the savagery of the original, it was fun getting to finish a round of this game with everyone present. Another thing that I love about this game is the functionality of the board itself. It opens up and functions just like a pop-up storybook, and features not one, but two different board designs. A video game that continued to come to mind as I played this board game was the Mario Party franchise, in that the board game could completely change in a single instant. It's one thing to do that in a video game, and a totally different thing to do it in a board game. And that's why I'm giving this version of Exploding Kittens big points for its inventive and visually dazzling design. I've also got to say that I really appreciate how they incorporated the Exploding Kittens cards into this board game setting. While the board itself is a neat feat of creativity, the actual gameplay incorporated into it is a bit simplistic, specifically when it comes to the spaces. There's no doubt that the fun of this board game rests in the board flip, the action cards, and the move discs. And in that sense, the game reaches a nice balance of fun gameplay. That said, when I think of a board game, I think of a wide variety of fun spaces to land on, of which this game has so very few. Now, is this a deal breaker? By no means. All I'm saying is I would have appreciated more action prompts on the spaces themselves, rather than solely relying on the action cards and the move discs. Another thing that I'll mention is that the longevity of this board game in terms of quality is something that I question. I don't know about you, but I've lived to see many a pop-up storybook completely destroyed over time and cease to, well, pop up. Looking at this board, I can't help but wonder how long it has until it experiences its first malfunction. There's no doubt about the creativity of its design, which I highly praised. I just hope that most people's boards last longer than my childhood pop-up books did. And lastly, I've still got to vent that there's still no Super Nope card. And yeah, that's pretty much my last complaint. I just really want that Super Nope card. All in all, Exploding Kittens the board game is a seamless and exciting transition from cards to cardboard. The gameplay takes what you loved about the original game and remixes it into your latest game night addiction yet. Just when most fans thought that the explosive feline was running out of fresh ideas, this board game ushers in a new and bold way to play. If you're questioning whether or not to add this hot-to-the-touch board game to your evening festivities, my advice would be to fetch the oven mitts. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care and be blessed.